Let's get back to COVID for just a second. One case of COVID-19 has seen Greater Brisbane locked down for at least 3 days, beginning tonight. And WA has even put up its hard border to all Queenslanders. This was the Prime Minister's advice today. What he had to say, and we didn't have that grab, but what he had to say is you've got to stay in your home, you've got to be locked down. It's a very different Scott Morrison, Mark Latham, than what we've seen throughout the pandemic. Let's not lock down, let's not lock down. Has this been a little bit of an overreaction, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The overreactions get worse and worse day by day. The media hysteria is off the radar. And I find it sad that Australians living in fear are forced by their politicians to lock down an entire city like Brisbane for the next 3 days because of one person, one infection. My understanding is that in Australia today, we don't have a single person in intensive care with COVID, or a single COVID person on a ventilator. The original policy Scott Morrison and others articulated was you only did the lockdowns if you were concerned that your hospital system was about to be overrun and couldn't cope, as we see, for instance, in the United Kingdom and parts of the United States. Well, how does one person and one infection mean that the hospital system is being overrun? This is panic and government control, the like of which ultimately will come to regret, because the health consequences of the mass unemployment is going to be a lot worse than the virus itself. And these are politicians where the power has gone to their head time after time. They go home and say, oh, I'm controlling other people's lives, and the next day they do it even worse.
Lauren, there's a lot of truth in that. And if you have a look at the reaction today from Brisbane residents, the roads out of Brisbane were packed as they tried to get out of their lockdown greater metro area. And then you had all these people going off panic buying and toilet papering again, which is just ludicrous. It's so silly. It's not funny. That's what happens when you create panic in your community.
Well, it seems like the solution to failed lockdowns is more lockdowns, and people are starting to catch on to this. This is going to be a repetitive cycle. Doesn't make sense. 3 days here, a week here, a month there. And now everyone's tired of it. It's gone on for almost a year now. And I have noticed people that at the beginning of this pandemic were taking it very, very seriously, wearing the mask, not leaving their house. Those ones, including most people, are now just trying to find a way to live with it. If there's a lockdown in one region, they're saying, all right, friends that we were going to meet up with, have an event with, we'll meet in this town, we'll go across that border, we'll rush out or into a city before or after lockdown, causing hordes of people to come over a border and bring in potentially more cases because they think they're not going to be able to get in later. This hysteria is just, if it continues on and people see no end in sight, they see no solution, cure, or we don't start to see vaccines that work, they're just going to learn to live with it. And that's what I'm starting to observe all around me. I'm here nearby Brisbane right now, and that's the talk I'm hearing on the streets.
Yeah.
Find a way around it.
I'm still not convinced that it's 70% more contagious given some of the literature that's coming out of the UK.